And let's continue our discussion with the WandaVision. If you're on YouTube, thank you for coming back. You're coming from the Doctor Strange video, or if you just found this, go and check out. We talked about Doctor Strange kind of leading into this, kind of a part 1, part 2 discussion. Before we get into everything, make sure to follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/MostValPodcast. Sooner rather than later, we are going to be live on Twitch doing our podcast, so make sure you follow us there so that you're ahead of the curve and can watch us live on Twitch when we go and put those live. But Johnny, let's talk about WandaVision. What will the Disney Plus series mean for Scarlet Witch? That's what I originally had down. We are going to hit that, but kind of leading in from our second discussion is, first let's talk Doctor Strange. Or I'll ask you this. Do you want to start with her series, because that comes before the movie, or continue our discussion about Doctor Strange 2 before we talk about her series?
For
her involvement in it and what
let's
that
do her
means.
involvement in it.
Okay, so this is basically what I think is going to happen, because in the WandaVision series, what we know about that is they're going to take it from, oh shoot, who wrote that comic book run? I always forget who wrote it. So it's the Vision comic book run from, I think it was the 2015-2016. Yeah, where basically Vision creates his own family. Yeah, I can't find who wrote that, but Vision creates his own family. He's got a wife, he's got a son, he's got a daughter, and it's basically his perfect, the Roy Thomas, there it is, the Roy Thomas run, where Vision creates his perfect family set in 1950s, like it's his perfect 1950s American dream family that he's always wanted. And shit eventually goes off the rails because it's unstable, because Vision is unstable. It sounds like they're going to take exactly from that. The only change is it's not Vision that's doing it. It's Wanda that's doing it. So think of Wanda using her powers to create her own little world.
Yeah.
Where her and Vision are together. She brings Vision back. They have their own kids. And then what basically I think is going to happen is somehow it could be Nightmare. It could be Loki. Somebody is going to mess with her so much in this kind of world. Someone who's able to get into it. Get her to snap. And when she snaps, because of how powerful she is, and without us really knowing why she's so powerful, she snaps, and boom, that breaks the multiverse. Where it doesn't just break her little world that she created, it basically shatters the multiverse. And that's where Doctor Strange goes, whoa, what the fuck is this? I got to go check that out. And that's how she gets
WandaVision comes
involved.
before?
Yes, WandaVision will be before Doctor Strange 2. I feel like at the cliffhanger at WandaVision will be her breaking and boom, shattering the multiverse.
I can still make my idea work. It just one of two ways. Because my brain forgot that WandaVision came before Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
And let's say, I'm going to start with, had it been flipped, WandaVision comes after Doctor Strange. It could be, so she's with Doctor Strange doing whatever. Nightmare shows her, hey, you could have this if you help me out.
Basically, like, have her perfect dream.
Have her perfect dream. Like, does like one of those like that, and it's like she's in the 1950s thing. Vision's alive. They have kids. The whole like scenario that we can see on this video.
The 1950s.
The whole 1950s
American
aesthetic. Exactly. And shows her all of that. And then just like that's what like after the movie, that's what kind of sets her off. Starts to set her off the rails of making it herself.
Yeah.
But
since it's coming beforehand,
it could still be set up that way, but it'd be like one of two ways. It'd be like a Doctor Strange technically came, but it'd have to be like, hey, Doctor Strange technically came before it, but it came out opposite ways. Or it could be,
I don't think they do that.
Or it could be that she was already doing this in WandaVision, where she's already making this reality, and then when she goes into the multiverse of madness to help Doctor Strange, or
Doctor Strange has to come in to help her.
Exactly. Nightmare, like, all that's shattered. Let's say the whole reality fell apart and shattered. Nightmare goes, like, basically, come to my side. I can put it all back together for you.
Yeah, and I mean, that's...
But he's, let's say he's the one that did tear it apart because he's Nightmare.
Yeah,
He's the one that set that off, but he's going, like, one of these, it all flies back together, and she's perfect American dream again. Back together, it's like, I can make this all happen for you if you just come with me.
Yeah. Or he plays with her emotions of, like, he sets her up in that, but then... Basically, from like I'm thinking the Roy Thomas run, where there's a famous panel of Vision's daughter like curled up, like crying on the floor, like how you would if you sat against the wall and had your knees up to like your chin, kind of crying, and that's like where everything's falling apart. That's where the Nightmare can set in, where it's like, hey, this vision that you have isn't as perfect as you thought it is, and that's where Nightmare kind of maybe seeps in. I'm thinking before Doctor Strange 2. Maybe they kind of introduce, they don't call it Nightmare, but you know something's influencing her. That's where things come off the rail. We kind of see things where they change to like it starts getting a little darker.
First few episodes are like her, like set up like the whole WandaVision, the family, the American dream, and then like as the episodes go, like daughter's crying and like in that the curled up position, and all of a sudden just like she get like sort of a mom what's wrong type thing, looks up at her, it's Nightmare's face real quick, and then
and that's the thing. My question is,
and there's little pops of Nightmare.
Would they introduce Nightmare in the WandaVision series just a little bit at the end?
It'd be cool,
teasing, because yet again we've never seen this from Marvel and Disney
to crossover.
They've never done the TV to movie game. So
but now everything is.
Yeah, exactly. But we don't know. And I'm not saying like, no, they're not going to do that. I'm saying we don't have any like predisposition of like with the movies. We could say, well, they probably won't do that because we have about 10 years of catalog.
Yeah.
That like what they've done and kind of what their habits are and how they introduce things in this. But this is fair game. This is new territory for us.
So they can do whatever they want.
So I'll ask you, I might stay... Part of me wants to say they won't, but I'll ask you...
That's probably a predisposition of never doing it before.
Nightmare in the WandaVision series, even if it's at the end, like maybe the last 2 episodes.
Throw him sort of in there.
We see Nightmare... Before Doctor Strange 2.
Sort of a Loki style, throw him in there. He's not really like going to be a main antagonist, but he's going to be...
Who?
Nightmare.
Nightmare is the antagonist.
I'm saying...
you're talking about the
WandaVision. He's not going to be the main antagonist in WandaVision, but he's going to be the one that's unraveling the sweater.
Okay. Like
that's what I would do.
He's the one pulling the strings, you're saying.
I wouldn't even say call pulling the strings. This one, he's taking that thread and he's unraveling this. So, like, he found out, like, massive amount of magic being used. I'll call it magic because we got no other real word for it.
Yeah.
Who's not going to want that? She almost, by herself, killed Thanos. She could have had he not rained fire. Because she was going to crush him. But anyways, if she's got enough, let's put it this way. She's got enough magic to create a reality for herself. Could you imagine what it had Nightmare would want that actually?
What?
To amplify his power? So I could see them if they want to tie all this in, introduce Nightmare a little bit here and there, or the very like last 2 episodes, and don't make him a direct antagonist. Make him like the Loki that was shown in the mirror, the window, the behind the scenes, everything, little glimpses of him here and there, but do not make any direct contact. He's unraveling her reality to where, boom, she just bomb goes off, and then maybe it's a kind of battle between Doctor Strange and Nightmare to bring Wanda either completely off the rails or bring her back to reality.
So here's another thing I want to ask you, because from the comic, we know that Vision, when it was Vision, mom, boy, girl were the kids. there's a casting call that people have been. God, it just feels so dirty saying that casting call. There's a casting, I should say, for Marvel. What, you don't get the joke? Right over your head?
No, I think I do. And
usually casting call, and especially in my mind, has a very dirty connotation to it.
Why don't you continue?
Yeah. There's a casting by Marvel, I'll say.
Yes.
Where apparently Big Red is kind of their behind-the-scenes code name for WandaVision.
Yeah. And
it says, so there's a lot of people tweeting this out. The one I've got is from comicbook.com. It's the @cinematic banter. He said, for reference, this is the actual casting call. Big Red is the working title for WandaVision. And it says Big Red TV. And then there's a part blacked out, redacted. But underneath it says, in parentheses, babies, Caucasian baby boys or girls, single, twin, triplets, or combos, 6 months and under. Here's my question to you. Is this just them, hey, there were kids in the Vision run, she's obviously going to make kids in the 1950s, but what most people are thinking is that could this be them in some way casting a baby to be the introductions of the two kids, Wiccan and Speed. I believe it's Wiccan and Speed. One is Wiccan for sure.
Yeah, one's
who
Wiccan.
I believe becomes a young Avenger, if I'm not mistaken. Is this just something we would read into, or could you see them, hey, one of the kids that she creates, because the multiverse breaks, the kid becomes real and then becomes Wiccan? Because that's the whole thing that I don't get when people say they want to also influence the Wiccan scenario when Wanda and Vision had a kid, but Vision was still alive at that point. Vision's not alive anymore. So I mean, unless she finds a vision in an alternate reality because of Doctor Strange 2, or because of WandaVision. I don't think she'd find it in WandaVision, but I mean, unless she finds a vision and creates a separate timeline or a branch like Loki did when Loki got out of there with the Tesseract, created a branch like the Ancient One had told us about. I don't know how they fit Wiccan into this because of Vision being dead.
So Vision, let's put the timeline together.
Yeah.
Vision dies.
In Infinity
War.
Uh-huh.
Wanda
disappears.
5 years later.
Uh-huh. She comes back.
So
this is end of Endgame.
So for her, it's only been a couple months max. Not even. Could she be pregnant?
Oh my God, Johnny.
You're welcome.
Oh my.
I broke him again.
Because you think about it, how much time do you think happened between... Remember when they were not in America? Like, remember when Captain America and that saved them? How much time happened between that and the end of Infinity War? Not that long, right? Couple days?
Long. Yeah.
And do we know the 5 years for everyone else? What, it felt like, 3 months or something? Do we know the exact time?
5 years?
Yeah.
Felt like nothing to them.
Oh, so they didn't age. That's why they didn't age at all.
No. No one aged. No one... Nothing. It's like they just stop. 5 year gap. They just started from there. Could she be?
That's how they do it. That is how they do it. They've got to do it that way.
If they want to actually have Wiccan, that's one way they could do it.
Oh, here's my thing.
Because they were having relations, to be PG about it, at the beginning of Infinity War.
There's also, because in here it says from comicbook.com, we've heard time and time again the series will be influenced by Tom King's Vision comics run, where Vision goes on a horror-fueled journey in an attempt to create a family for himself. I said Rob Thomas, I meant Tom King earlier. With Vision technically out of the picture, on screen for now, it's totally possible for the show to flip things around and show Maximoff using her powers to conjure a family of her own. What I've been saying. But yeah, I didn't even think about that. That she could have been pregnant before the snap.
Not sure that people might argue Vision can't do that because he's half.
He did it in the comics.
No, that like
they did it in the comics.
They did.
They made a kid in the comics.
Okay. I'm just saying.
Or what if we get a snapback, no pun intended, a Vision from Wanda where she doesn't know how the snap works. Maybe because it would help if I had that. It's been forever since I read that comic, and I was very young when I read it. Exactly how they had the kid.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. I don't remember.
And especially MCU and comics are different.
Exactly. They can take whatever twist they want on it.
Unless they're saying because
he does have human tissue.
Yeah, but
it's just mixed with vibranium.
Because he can shift into that human form. Can he then create his own sperm within his body?
He has DNA.
Yeah.
Because he's not just...
So it's basically he uses the Mind Stone to make the parts and just say, this is how it works for a human, so I can do the same thing. And the DNA, he's got the DNA in him. Or a part of him.
I mean, he's got... in general, he has... Because
he's part Ultron, part Jarvis, part human, right?
Yeah, because, he's got... It's a combination of... human DNA, human tissue. I don't know. It's supposed to replicate someone's tissue, but then also it's got vibranium mixed with it.
God, could you imagine if they end up being because now he's dead, if it's Tony's tissue? Tony used his own, and that's kind of like how Tony's not technically dead in the MCU.
That'd be interesting.
Or not, he is dead, but part of Tony's DNA lives in the MCU because of that.
Maybe. I wasn't going to nitpick into that. But anyways.
I just did. It's there.
Yeah.
That thought's out there.
So Tony has 2 kids.
Morgan and now Wicked.
No, but I was going to say, have him... Maybe MCU could make it to where she got pregnant. Mm-hmm. That's your start of Wiccan.
Like an off-screen.
And maybe it's her starting as... maybe she, they don't, obviously not going to show the actual birth, but maybe they, show her.
What if she finds out...
And realizes, hey, he needs a dad, and she makes Vision. And it slowly snowballs from there.
So what you're saying is that she finds out... You're saying she finds out before Wanda, at the beginning of WandaVision, and that's why she makes the family?
Maybe. That could be one route to do it.
See, you know what? I don't like that route.
No?
I don't.
You don't like the pregnancy route?
Here's what I like better. No, I like that. I don't like her. I'm going to paint the picture. Ready?
Okay.
Beginning of WandaVision. She's destroyed. Vision's not there. The whole world is she lost 5 years of her life, basically. Not physically, not health-wise, but she was snapped away for 5 years.
Mm-hmm. Everything's
takes a toll
changed
on you. And she's maybe depressed, wants Vision back, wants that perfect family. So she creates that. Creates her own little universe. Her own little multiverse, let's say.
Creates Vision, brings back her brother, maybe.
Exactly. They have 2 kids and her vision of what they would look like. And Nightmare comes in, like we've mentioned, breaks the whole thing. Because she is so powerful, it doesn't just break hers, it breaks the entire multiverse. It affects the entire multiverse. That's where we go into Doctor Strange 2. Doctor Strange comes in. They fight Nightmare. They're in the Nightmare realm. That whole movie happens.
I feel like...
And then Wait.
Yeah, I'm listening.
And then at the end of Doctor Strange 2, she finds out that she's pregnant. Because then what that does is that gives her a glimmer of hope. I can have, it's not going to be exactly like I wanted it with Vision, me, kids, but I have something to live for now. Maybe she doesn't have it yet. And it's oh, wow, you're about 5 months pregnant. It's what? Wait, what? Or you're pregnant. Wait, what? I'm what? Maybe if it's a month or two because it's got to be to where she's not showing. But like you said, the snap, the baby wouldn't have grown because she was snapped away.
She and the baby wouldn't have aged.
Exactly.
Or grown.
So I like that better because then what that sets up is she can have the kid in a future, even if it's off screen, can have the kid. And then you know what that also ties into now that they have the X-Men?
Mm-hmm.
Her and Wiccan, single mom thing coming along. Who comes in? Father figure. Kid needs a father. Of course, I'm not going to be your husband because that would be very weird, but Grandpa comes into the situation. Magneto's here to make it all better. Daddy's here to make everything better. And then that's where, like, you can then lead into, like, then that's where we get the, oh, you were never a miracle. Don't believe that shit. You're one of us. And, like, that can lead her into this. And then you can have Wiccan. You can have Scarlet Witch. And that can lead her into when you want to introduce Magneto down the line. Because I can't wait until we get to that point. A Magneto, like, Brotherhood, Scarlet Witch, the whole, like, because they've got ways they can go. That's how I would lay the seeds.
I can agree with that. The one thing I'm going to add into there, and it's not me arguing with you, it's me kind of adding to it.
Yeah.
It's when, basically, I feel like it's going to be like a chunk of it, or the very, very end is going to be basically Nightmare and Doctor Strange tug-of-warring over Scarlet Witch. Him trying to like pull her in, say she's got nothing left, help me like spread my nightmare. Basically, he wants to, like Dormammu, he's going to want to spread his universe. He wants everything to be a nightmare. It was what I would think. And he's going to try and pull her in because he probably notices how strong she is and how much she can create a reality. Like if him and her together, they can probably like expand his universe tenfold. And Doctor Strange is going to be pulling back. And with the doctor knowledge, I know he's a brain surgeon, but he might realize like
she's pregnant.
Yeah.
Which that makes way more sense. And you know why I like it? Because, and I'm not saying this as like, women are hormonal, but like a fact of when women are pregnant, those chemicals are firing. How would that affect Scarlet Witch's powers? Like if she can't contain, like, I don't want to say mentally, but like if the hormones are firing, how is that going to, like, if that's unstable, what does that mean for her powers? Because she is such a powerful hero in this universe. I just thought of another thing. Speed is actually another child or another son of Wanda and Vision also.
Is he?
Do we find out that instead of doing the whole lost twin brother route, because they're both in the Young Avengers comics, and that's when he adopted the identity Speed and joined the Young Avengers. Do they do the whole route of like, yeah, you're pregnant with twins? And then after he's born, she can then, like, she loves, his name's Tommy, loves Tommy just as much because since he's Speed and he's a speedster, reminds her of Quicksilver. And that creates that where it's like, now in a kid, she has someone that reminds her of her brother, and then maybe Wiccan can be the one that reminds her of Vision. So that she's got both of them in. The second one is loosely tied.
I mean, that could be the route they're doing because they said they're looking for single Caucasian triplets.
Yeah, that's the weird thing though.
So it could
triplets be like, and like anything over
any combo.
Triplet, yeah, I would.
So it's like, hey, we'll take male and female even.
Yeah, like they're not set on it being boy and girl. I'm trying to think.
Or
anything.
Here's just one to kind of maybe
do it.
So remember the kid that Quicksilver was or when he gave his life to save that kid in Hawkeye?
Yes.
Think that any chance that could be his? Because he was hit in another scene. He was hitting on that woman before. Do you think by chance Quicksilver could have had a kid like a while back?
Illegitimate son.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Think the MCU would take that route?
I don't know. I don't think they do the illegitimate son kind of a thing. They would do if it was anything, it would be the long lost family of Quicksilver, one that Wanda didn't know about.
Could be. Do you think they would do something like that though?
I don't know. That kind of seems like loosely like.
Just
like
saying, because Speedster passed down the Speedster.
Yeah, but how important is it for Speed to be brothers with Wiccan, and both of them be the child of Wanda?
Yeah, and that depends on what the Marvel studio decides, because they don't 100% follow the comics.
Yeah, they don't. They change things. Like, I'll even say, like, look at Suicide Squad, which we haven't talked about yet, but Ratcatcher in the comics, I believe, is a dude.
Yeah, and
they're making it female in the movie, so it's like it doesn't have to be 100% with the comics.
Exactly.
Is there anything we didn't hit in this that you think?
No, I think we kind of went through this pretty well.
I'm trying to think.
I see, because there's a scene in this video you sent me, actually, that...
There's a link in the video?
No, there's a scene in the video that you sent me, where he's actually kind of hitting on that woman that
he saved.
The child for, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that could... that could just be Quicksilver being Quicksilver.
Exactly.
Oh, also, you know what was on the other day? Mm-hmm. Days of Futures Past.
Was it really?
With the most OP Quicksilver, like, ever made, right? Like, Quicksilver can solve any problem, am I right?
Yep.
He can save an entire mansion from blowing up, and then he pizza while on top of it. God, I hate that. I hate that version of Quicksilver. I love the actor and how he plays Quicksilver.
You just hate how OP he is?
Exactly. Even, like, in Dark Phoenix, where it's like, well, send Quicksilver there to save the day. It's like... And he failed? What? That's not possible. Quicksilver solves all the problems. Or was he not? Yeah, he was there.
No, he didn't, because basically they pulled a...
That's right. He saved
Justice League.
He saved both of them and didn't save Jean. And left Jean there.
Well, because the thing is What?
At the very beginning with the space shuttle.
Yeah.
Jean was holding it all together. And Nightcrawler pulled... wasn't it Nightcrawler pulled Quicksilver and the other two astronauts back?
Yeah.
And then Cyclops like, where's Jean? We gotta get Jean. Go get Jean. Oh my God, Jean.
That's mostly, I actually think it was mostly Nightcrawler, wasn't it, though?
I thought Quicksilver was a part of it.
He might have been. I don't remember.
I don't know. That movie's so shitty that I forgot.
I just remember that.
I try to forget it as much as possible.
I just remember that, like, the scene where he couldn't solve the problems because he went to go attack Jean, and they basically... what do you call it? They Justice Leagued it. He didn't die. He didn't die.
Didn't he get a stake through the...
That was Raven.
It was Raven. I thought he died too.
No, he got his leg broken, I think.
That's right, and they had to stretch him out. Yet again, shitty movies I just don't keep recollection for because they're shitty movies. If you want to see my hatred for that movie, we have a review about it. So you can go check it out.
Check that out.
But any final thoughts on WandaVision?
No, I'm excited for it.
Before I go off on a Dark Phoenix tangent that doesn't need to be here.
I just think it's funny because, like I said, they literally took the same thing from Justice League, where he goes to, like, speedster her, and she actually follows him with her eyes, and he goes, "Oh shit,
yeah,
I'm fucked."
Well, let us know what you guys think down below. What do you think was going to happen to Wanda in WandaVision leading into Doctor Strange 2. Let us know everything down below in the comment section.